All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to SBR Sports Picks. He's Drew Martin. I'm Peter Lozak. This is the live Q&A that we do every Thursday at 12:30 Eastern Time. It's an interesting time of the week, of course. Small baseball card every day, getaway day. And then we have the upcoming series in baseball coming up this weekend. And Drew Martin and I, of course, every Thursday afternoon do a show where we update my personal record in the morning shows that I do and take a look ahead to the upcoming series in baseball upcoming this weekend. I guess the news, the thread of the morning shows this week, Drew Martin, has been that Philly has just been an auto fade, no matter what the price is, no matter who is pitching against them, even against Edinson Volquez as a big favorite. It didn't matter how long is this going to continue. They have a series upcoming this weekend against the Giants, and the Giants are no great shakes themselves either. One of the worst road teams in baseball.
Yeah, Philly's absolutely sucked, and I'm not looking to back Philly, that's for sure. But in the Giants, they were able to put a little run together. So I don't know if I'd step in front of the Giants, especially back in the Phillies.
Yeah, we'll see what the lines are, but the Giants are, fading Philly with Miami at home. We knew we kind of both had Miami pegged as a team that was likely to improve significantly going forward, maybe a ton going forward. So it's not a shock that they dominated that series at home against Philly. Now with Philly at home against a relatively weak Giants team, might be a little bit of a different situation. We'll see what the lines are, but I don't know if I'm going to be auto fading Philly this upcoming weekend. Let's see, who do they play? Let me just check who they play, because auto fades can be some of the best ways. Oh gosh. And then after that, they go into Atlanta.
Ooh,
that might be
Freddie Freeman left Atlanta too.
Yeah, but that, again, you're going to get very modest lines there for Atlanta as home favorites. Probably that might be another series where maybe not Atlanta. Maybe Atlanta doesn't get a sweep, but they have value on their money lines in all three of the games. All right, let's see. Thomas BR says, "What's up, guys?" All right, do we have any questions?
Great question.
Uh-huh.
Can we get an answer?
What? What's up? Nothing much. Do we have any questions coming in from any of the other social media outlets, or are we going to, or should we talk about some other
we should probably
topics
talk about this
the contest
thing called the NBA Finals.
Oh, the NBA Finals, yeah. Well, the NBA Finals, there's actually a lot of interesting stuff going on right now with the NBA Finals. First of all, some of the, as I've said many times, the real smart, nerdy advanced analytics guys who are sometimes way wrong, but more often than not, they're correct, have a lot of indications that Golden State is being way undervalued, even as a favorite of about -250. Now, I did bet them at -250 to win the series. On the other side, though, they also admit that a lot of their ways of forecasting how likely the Cavs are to do in the playoffs strongly underestimate the Cavs. And in other words, that's because their analytics don't take into account how much an elite team can put their foot on the pedal and increase their performance and take it to another level when the chips are really down in the playoffs, and especially in the finals. So that's something to consider, how much the advanced analytics might be underestimating Cleveland's ability to take a step forward.
Well, it looks like the market is betting Golden State, pushing them up to 7.5 at some books.
Oh, right. But I'm talking about just to win the series. I mean, I've seen, like a lot of the guys like Ed Fang, our regular, guest Ed Fang, are indicating that Golden State should be more of an 80% chance, or maybe even a 90% chance to win the series, which of course would put them, at anywhere between -500 to -1,000. Now they're about -250. It's been creeping up a little bit, and the question is just, how much are they undervaluing the Cavs' ability to take their game to a new level? And even if they can do that, how competitive will they be with Golden State? See, I'm thinking that even if the Cavs do that, and I just talked with Al McMorty about that, he gave the opinion that the market is already baking that into the cake, and that even if the Cavs do take a major step forward, their chances of winning the series are slim to none. So
I've got a question for you guys. We've had there's been a large gap of time between the last time we've seen either one of these teams on the court. Has this extended break caused bettors to second guess themselves, probably throw some extra money in the Cavs? Let's face it, all the media's at this point, they've covered every angle. Now they're trying to start making the argument for the Cavaliers. Is this going to sway the line a little bit?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And definitely, the more time there is to debate something, the more things will tend to the arguments for the less likely scenario seem stronger and stronger as days go on. So
this is like Super Bowl-esque. You usually
yes.
2 week
Yeah,
gap
it is
to
a
kind of
little
debate
weird.
the
I don't know why the NBA does that either, to take such a long gap. They should keep it to be determined. But I don't know, maybe the other side of that, Pete, you know, if they're second guessing themselves, then why is the line at sharper books like Penny up to 7.5 now?
No, I mean, I think I would expect Golden State money to come in at the sharper books just because all of the guys who do their modeling and act on that and bet on that are clearly favoring Golden State strongly in the series, both on game 1 and on the under. And on which Sal McCourty also disagreed with. I'm not sure what I think about that. And on the series prices. So I would expect, you know, the Golden State line to go up, you know, between now and tip-off, the total to keep dropping, and Golden State's series odds to maybe take a major jump by, you know, the end of by tip-off tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 300 or something, because, you know, all the advanced analytics is they're being disrespected here at 250.
And you brought up the under. I mean, the under is taking money. I mean, 2 points.
And that's another one that I'm not exact, because I'll tell you this, and I was wrong on a bunch of, and both teams were obviously big over trenders in the playoffs this year, and there were a bunch of games where you might have guessed that they set up for a lower scoring game, of course, and you know, against the teams that can be very defense oriented, like the Spurs and Utah, and both these teams, you know, just took those teams high scoring, and they were both strong over trenders all playoffs long. So despite I mean, I don't understand why sharp people are betting the under, because obviously in the NBA Finals, you would expect both teams to play more conservative and defense-oriented. And last year, if you look at the the final scores last year in the series between these two teams, they were they were way lower than 220. You know, they were right around in the 190s, 200. So comparing a total of 223 to last year's results would make you think, oh, the under is a great bet.
Yeah.
But comparing the total of 223 to how both teams have played this year in the playoffs, you might think maybe not.
And I haven't been following the NBA playoffs as closely as you. Have the unders started to come back?
No.
Okay, so it's just been purely overs.
I can answer that. I can answer that. Yeah, that took me less than half a second to answer, because the answer to that one is very easy. And the reason I am so I have that on tip of my tongue is because there was a few times when I got burned betting unders, and it didn't happen.
Well, it's something interesting to note too is the Cavaliers are actually, I believe they're the most efficient scoring point per possession in the past 40 years in the playoffs.
Yes.
And number 2 team in the past 40 years?
Golden State.
Golden State.
Yes.
This year.
Wow.
And Golden State in their series against the Spurs. Now, the Spurs, of course, can be very defense-oriented. We know what they do, right? All 4 of those games went over. And game 4 was one where I got burned. It was a road game at San Antonio. San Antonio was down 3-zip. So you would assume, all right, San Antonio is going to just try to play a defense-oriented game and try to, slow things down one way or another. So at least if they lose their best punch. Total on that one closed at 218. The regulation score wound up going to 244. And I believe
What was the movement?
I don't know, but I don't know, but I definitely personally was on the under on that one. And same thing happened in game 4 with Utah, right? Utah was also down 3-zip, also at home. You figured they would try to slow it down. That game closed at 207 on the total, and it wound up going to 216. So flying over. And Al McMorty gave the opinion in the call we did today that he disagrees with the sharp movement to the under, and I might be agreeing with his disagreement.
Well,
he disagrees with siding with the under, is what you're saying. With all the money coming in.
He's agreeing. He thinks that it's going to be a very high-paced series, and certainly in game 1,
sure. 223.5 is still pretty damn high.
I mean, if you look at the last game that Golden State played against the Spurs, went into the 240s. If you look at their games against Portland, routinely going into the 230s, and they're going up against Cleveland, who as Zach just mentioned, this year is definitely getting it done with offense. And even though you can expect their defense to be significantly improved from their horrible defense in the second half after the All-Star break this year, it's still not
game.
I'm sorry?
Chris Heath taking the under in every game.
And he might be right. I'm just saying that, we've seen some explosive performances.
No, but hey, how did these two teams, what were the scores in the regular season?
That one, again, I don't have that one offhand, but again, I'm assuming that they were very high scoring because
you're talking about when they faced each other?
The regular season. And there was also a lot of the other thing is that there were unique roster situations in the regular season, so they're not very applicable here. Yeah, it's basically an educated guess, and I would. Yeah, I'm going to stay off the total on this one. I'm just taking Golden State on the first half tonight, and then of course I bet them pretty big to win the series. Let's see, their last.
There's any TVs at the bar going on.
Let's see, the last time that they met in the regular season. Let me just find that. Let me just pull that one up.
Live music. I do know that.
Yeah, maybe they could give us just do play-by-play.
Let me pull that one up. Yeah, I mean, it was the last time they met was in mid-January. It was at Golden State. It had a total of 227.5, which is higher than it is right now, and the total is right now went to 217. Basically, Golden State absolutely blew them out, and the Cavs couldn't score at all in that game. But I believe there was someone out for the
under hit.
So the under hit, yes, it did. But for the Cavs, let me just who was out for the Cavs? Oh no, the big three were all in there. Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know. You can make a strong argument for the under. Obviously, it's an educated guess. And let me see where else. Let me find the other time they met. Yeah, and when they met before that in Cleveland, again, the total was about 220, and it went to 217. So maybe we'll see scores in this series in the teens, in the two teens, and the under is a good play tonight. It's certainly been taking sharp action. That's for sure.
Well, something also interesting to notice too is that the Warriors have performed as well in game one of each series. Game one against Portland, they won by 12 points?
Yeah.
Game one against the Jazz, they won by 12 points there. Game one against the Spurs, they won by 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
So,
so they ATS, what was that?
The line typically had been around that 12. I can't remember off the top of my head, but just knowing that
the Jazz
they kind of started flat.
Yeah.
Okay. Here, let me.
They almost got beat. I mean, had Kawhi Leonard not gone down, they would have got lost that first game, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Against the Spurs.
Yeah, you're right. They did. They lost all three of those ATS, but they were very, very close. The Utah game. Yeah, it was right. It was right there on the line. And a lot of times when when elite teams are a less big favorite, and you see this in football all the time, when like Alabama will lose ATS their 45-point spreads against New Mexico State, but then when they're a 23-point favorite against Tennessee, who's ranked in the top 10, they'll cover it easily. Yeah. So and then you do see stuff like that in especially in in big time games like this. So I'm leaning Golden State. I did bet it -4 on the first half, and we shall see. We shall see how the total what happens with the total. It might wind up being dead on because the market has had a very good read on a lot of these totals, especially Cleveland's last series against Boston. They were hold on a second.
It is pretty incredible how, at least with basketball, dead on these odds makers are.
Yeah,
I've been watching, especially in college, down the stretch and early in the playoffs. I was really into it, and you got 8 seconds left in the game, and the total's hanging 1 point, 2 points.
Right.
I mean, it's pretty incredible.
They get right on it.
Yeah, Cleveland's first 4 games basically against Boston all came within 2 or 3 points of the total, and then Game 5 went soaring over when Boston put up 135. I'm telling you, man, this is. I understand the argument for the under. And I did bet it a little bit when it opened. I took the first half under at 116 and the full game under at 225.5 because I expected the line to go down. And Drew Martin, I took back the entire bet on the first half. I got it over 114. So maybe I'll get a middle. I haven't yet taken back the full game under, but I'm as we get closer to tip off and as I talk to more people about it, starting to get nervous about that under play, and I'm thinking that the over might be a way to go. And if it lands 115, I will have middled the first half total.
Good luck to you.
That's right. And if it lands 114 or 116, I will have sided it. So nice job there by me. But yeah.
How long do you see the series lasting?
Well, that's the other huge question. Yeah.
With that question, MVP odds.
Yes.
Greatly shifts depending on how long you think the series is going to run.
Huge question. Al McMorty seems to be of the opinion it's going to be a short series, and he, to his credit, has absolutely nailed the Golden State playoff performance so far. Al McMorty said that he liked Golden State to win the title in 16 games. Now, this is obviously the toughest sweep here, but if you had followed his advice and just martingaled Golden State in the first 12 games of the playoffs, you'd be looking at like a 200-to-1 payout or something like that, something ridiculous. Yeah. So Al McMorty is expecting a short series. I again would tend to agree with him there, though. the big question is how much will the refs change things if it appears that Golden State has a huge edge?
Always an issue.
Yes. Will they force a game 5, game 6? I think that is definitely not out of the question. Here we go. Travis Levine, comment right here. Drew Martin, you can read this, right?
Is that NBA is rigged?
NBA is rigged. That is the big statement / question every year in the NBA. Is the NBA rigged or not? My answer to that question is yes.
My answer is money matters, man.
Yeah.
Money matters.
You know, when they were going into that playoff game, and you know the 2 refs were company men, quote unquote. They wanted to extend the series to 5. Was it Sacramento Kings Lakers maybe?
Yeah.
Series. I don't remember exactly what it was, but.
I think that I think that the answer to that is the NBA rigged? The real answer to that is sometimes a little bit yes.
Yeah. My answer is money matters.
Yes.
In a lot of things in life. So
yes, here we a lot of
definitely hurting this year too.
Yeah.
Sweep. But I mean, the refs can obviously affect the pace of the game.
Yes.
But
yes.
I mean, the Cavs haven't faced a defense like this. You can argue LeBron James is the best offensive player in the league today.
Yes.
Draymond Green is the LeBron James of defense, and Kevin Durant has been lights out defense.
Yes.
So I mean, can the officials really swing this 20 points?
Yeah.
Of course.
Fouls.
Wait, you mean swing the total?
I mean, I'm just saying for them to extend the series. I mean,
extend the series.
I'm with Al. I think this is going to be a quick series. I see 4 games. I see the Warriors running right through these guys. I see that, you know, you've got a healthy Steph Curry this year. Some of the holes that they had last year, KD is going to fill. What's his name? Klay Thompson has not been good recently, but he's due. And once that guy starts connecting, he is dangerous. The Cavs have no defensive weapons to answer to this. Kevin Love had a great series against Boston, but there's just too many weapons on this Warriors team.
Yes.
Spread out the play. The Cavs aren't going to have an answer for it. I don't think the refs can keep it close enough to make this a 6-game series.
If they want to, they can. If they want to, they can. Yeah.
Than in California.
No, they got that down to a system.
Yeah. I agree with Al, except for, and I really am concerned about, because it becomes a serious issue when it comes to, you know, massive revenues, you know, with the 5th and 6th and 7th game. I agree with Al if you take out the refs from the equation, but when you put the refs in the NBA that's why I didn't bet, the Cavs, where you would get plus odds to sweep or to win in 5 or something like that. I just took Golden State to win the series. And so if
I don't think that comes into play until game 3 at least.
Right.
Game 1 and 2, Warriors are gonna roll most likely. Nobody really cares. Game 3, if they can come out, they won't even let them come out hot. See, that's what they'll do. 2 early fouls on Durant or somebody else, you don't see until the 2nd. Then you hit them with another early foul. You know, you don't let them on the court. They get frustrated. They get lucky. And
then they start to get the point, and they're like, all right. You can stop calling your fouls now. We'll let the Cavs win this game. All right, just chill.
You could see how ninja assassin these guys are.
Yes.
It's amazing.
And then it's like, and then the guys are like, all right, screw it. Like if the refs are telling me, I have to lose this game, I'm not going to risk injury. And
you see the writing on the wall.
I'll just like, all right, fine. Message received, loud and clear. Yeah.
Golden State wins, covers by double digits easy.
And
there's something else. Let's face it, Tyronn Lue is not a coach.
Right.
He stands there. He's not aggressive. He doesn't scream. He doesn't fight for his balls. He doesn't fight for his players. And the Warriors are without their coach on the sideline. So maybe that does give the refs some bit of a lead.
But the Warriors have a real coach on the sideline.
They have a coach, not the coach.
He's a good coach.
He's definitely a good coach. But I'm just saying, you don't have your usual guys you don't have the set man in the suit on the sideline.
Yeah.
Arguing
You're right.
And you were talking about game 3. That is also what Al McMorty said. When Al McMorty was talking about the Warriors sweeping, he said the hardest game by far, it's really all about game 3. He said that the Warriors will win first 2 games, and then if they're up 3-0, game 4 is a little bit of a different situation, all that. But Al McMorty says that the big the hardest game is game 3, and so game 3 might be the spot to bet on the Cavs, maybe on the money line.
The Cavs are down 0-2.
Which they will be.
Is definitely a good spot.
Right. So a lot of questions and comments here from YouTube. Everyone's debating this. People love to debate this. Ratings are important. Obviously, you can spin away. Let's see. Kyle Honeysett says, Donnie Rightside said, if Cavs are down 0-2 heading home, he's betting home and 401k on the Cavs money line. There you go.
Will they be at a plus price?
I think it will be. Yes, I think that. I mean,
it's 0-2. It goes back to Cleveland, right? It's
yes, I think.
What will that price be?
I'm guessing it'll be right around Pick'em for sure. I'm guessing it'll probably close at like Cavs -1, but I'm not exactly sure about that. It'll be right around Pick'em though, bouncing around between like 1 and 1.5, either which way. It'll be right around 1. Yeah.
I can't see that. I don't know. Well, because you have to take into consideration all this stuff.
Like -3,
-3, -3.5.
But all things considered equal, sure. But if you take a look at this, the NBA wants this not to be a sweep. You have to consider that.
Yeah.
And so do the odds makers. So that's probably where that -1 comes in. Everything being equal, I don't think there's any way the Cavs are favored in any game in the series.
Well, I mean, they might close. I mean, I'm assuming that it'll be right around Pick'em, but I'm assuming that there will be, quote unquote, sharp money or whatever that, because everyone's talking about it. That Game 3 is one that the Cavs will, probably take if they're going to take any game. So yeah. I'm assuming that it'll open at like, maybe like Cavs +1. No, like +1, and then it'll close maybe Pick'em or -1.
Game 3.
Yeah. Okay. Game 3. And then Game 4, who knows? Who the hell knows? But
that's when things get really interesting. Make your money in the first 2 games, guys.
I mean, you don't think that would be a little obvious? I mean, isn't that a replay last year? I mean,
yes, of course.
They were blowing out the first 2 games last year, and then coming back to Game 4 in Cleveland,
and
suddenly sneak out that win, come back and run the table to.
Dude, is professional wrestling obvious? Yeah, it's like isn't that? And some people say not as different as you might want them to be. Yeah.
All right, guys, let me throw something out at you. Tonight's game. Do you think there's any way the NBA gets out in front of this and puts quick fouls on the Warriors early? And thought about the Cavs up 1-0.
I don't think so.
That's what's called thinking out of the box, right there. That's what's called really. Also, that's what also might be called way overthinking things.
That would be the least also, if they're trying to be slick dicks about it.
Yeah.
It is 2017.
You do the whole. The Warriors are rusty. With
the Warriors look bad in their game versus the Spurs on their home court.
Well, like did you point out, they're not great in their game 1.
That's where the Spurs were waxing in the beginning.
And Adam Silver is a.
And that was not foul. They were stuck in big D.
Adam Silver is a forward-thinking guy, a little bit slicker than the guy before. His name escapes me. Who is the freaking
Stern?
Right? Yes. David Stern is very 70s 80s guy. Adam Silver's like a millennial practically for an NBA commissioner, and he knows how to be a little bit slicker than the old time guys. You might be right there. Yeah, Adam Silver might be like.
The only thing, I wouldn't bother with this team.
Yeah.
If I didn't bet on the Cavs, that makes me think maybe a few bucks. I might have to slide over to the box and get out tonight.
Yeah.
Interesting thoughts. Yes. I mean that is one thing that, and not to completely take this to a depressing level, but if sports betting did become fully legalized in the United States, and people are like, well, would that affect the outcomes of the games? Would the games then be fixed? I think that they would be, but not in the old school way where just like you're going to throw the game and fix who wins, or even who fixes the point spreads. It would be fixed on the level of props and on the level of first halves and second halves. And maybe totals, I'm
on the other side of that, Pete. I think regulation in it becoming more mainstream will actually make it harder to fix.
Because people will be paying attention to it?
I don't know.
Able to follow the money flow a lot better.
The people who are standing to make money are not the government.
No. But what I'm saying is that I'm assuming then that the markets would expand. There'd be a lot more money in it, and there'd be a lot more, smart money in it, a lot more big public money in it, and that the markets for like the first halves and the props and stuff like that, and the team totals and stuff like that would get a lot more attention and a lot more money, and there'd be a lot more money to be made by fixing, and obviously it's a lot easier to fix something that's more hidden than just to fix like who wins the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And to Matt's point, I would hope that they would put it that the government would tax the handle, not the actual profit to the sportsbook.
Right.
So they wouldn't have a reason to have a side win.
Right? Yeah.
They would just tax the overall.
I'm sure that they would. Right. And the other thing is that. The other thing is that, and another thing is that, the old school way of fixing games was give me a lock. This team is gonna win. The new school way of fixing games would be not necessarily to guarantee an outcome, but to just guarantee yourself an extremely big edge. You know what I mean? So that, in other words, if you're paying guys to fix games, you're not paying them to lose every game. You're paying them to, lose 70% of the games. And then, you know what I mean? And then, because it is 2017. You know what I mean? We've got quantum computers right around the corner, Drew Martin. Yeah. So sports betting fixing is going to also take a major leap forward in sophistication.
What are you looking forward to? Is it
what?
like a jetpack, or like you want to be like a hologram?
What are you talking about?
I'm curious, like what tech or Loshak in your bedroom? Yeah. Like, what do you want?
You mean in terms of the future?
Yeah. Sex robot.
Yeah, sex robot with like realistic.
I was trying to lead you there.
With like, yes, with like, because they can also now grow meat in the lab, right? So you can actually be a meat eater without eating meat that actually was like alive and part of an animal. You know what I mean? So yeah, so if they can grow meat in a lab, I'm sure they can grow breasts and cellulite in labs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, all right. People like to keep it about sports betting and not about our sick sexual futuristic fantasies.
Teleportation.
Yeah, just go wherever.
I'm tired of fucking moving around myself.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we've broken the hell down out of this Cleveland Golden State series, but we might have also, as you said, Matt, as you said, Zach, we might be overthinking things here a little bit. Basically, we've concluded that that the refs might fix any of the games for Cleveland. We've concluded that the total might be a good bet on the over and the under. Yeah. Lou Skunt saying, "Can we play fuck, marry, kill with WTA tennis players?" I don't actually
that's good.
follow them closely enough.
Let's see. Oh, WTA now.
Lou Skunt. All right, let's yeah.
Nadal. Let's see. Jesus.
Anyway, so to sum up our NBA stuff. I still think that the best way to bet these finals is just, again, on just Golden State to win. So if the refs come in and try to give you 3 or 4 2 or 3 extra games because they want the the profits, fine.
You'll still have the game.
Yeah, Golden State's going to win this series. And again, it was like I did bet it, but the odds I got like minus 250. So it's like that'll be a hit if I lose it, but not. It's not like when you bet like a minus 800 favorite in MMA and you lose. You're like, what the hell is wrong with me? If you lose, if you lose it, you lose 2.5. If you double up, you lose 5 units, which is bad, but not insurmountable. It's not going to kill your bankroll, and I think it's a good bet. Just to win the series, they can win it, and they can sweep. They can win it in 7. They can win it in 5. If the refs fix 1 or 2 games, and win it in 6. Whatever. So that's my bet. Golden State to win the series minus 255, and I did take a small shot with Golden State minus 4 on the first half, and I played the totals correctly. I might get a middle. So Drew Martin, you're an experienced professional, savvy bettor. That was a pretty admirable thing I did there, right?
Yeah, good stuff.
When you set yourself up for a middle. Right?
Yeah, that's money.
And you've got a series price that takes in consideration all the possible angles in terms of match fixing and all that stuff, right?
It's a smart bet. You're setting yourself up for success.
Yeah. All right. So that is that. Now let's look at some of the other baseball games. Hey, Drew Martin, let me ask you about this just quickly. We'll talk about this maybe later on. But you were high on Colorado this year to start the series, to start the season, right? And they were they're still the most profitable team in baseball, I believe, unless Houston overtook them. But recently, they've been slumping. What's your take on Colorado's recent slump? Just
I personally
randomness.
Lost yesterday, which I really thought that was a good one since Telever's the lineup that hasn't seen them. But I'm gonna stay away right now. I tried to get there with Freeland, but they're in a slump on the road in Seattle. I know that they played well on the road, but yesterday they didn't show up, so that makes me think something might be up, man. And I'm just going to watch from the sidelines.
Well, let's talk about, because their next series is going up against San Diego, and Matty Ice can attest to this. That San Diego's last series with the Cubs, I had varying degrees of like balls on every game, but every game I was like, there's no way I'm taking the Cubs here. I'm either taking San Diego or pass. And San Diego wound up sweeping them.
So what do you think about Perdomo?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about this guy.
He's a guy who throws hard, gets a lot of grounders, hasn't honed his stuff fully yet, and of course has the looming shoulder injury that he suffered early on.
He's a high ceiling guy.
Yes,
so that's the type you want as far as plus 200 underdogs.
Right, exactly.
kicking myself.
Yeah, and I actually did bet that one in this show. Remember, I didn't have the balls to give it as a pick, but I did bet it. I bet it, average, not huge. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I bet it on my own. I did mention in the show yesterday that I bet it, and they swept the Cubs. So now you've got a slump in Colorado, but Colorado's slumping for different reasons than the Cubs, right? The Cubs are just like really an overvalued team. Colorado might just be going through just a little down period due to variance. You think they come in and dominate San Diego? And I'm assuming if the Cubs were that big of a favorite against San Diego, all 3 games in that series, then Colorado is going to be at least that big of a favorite, right?
Yeah, probably. I'll probably get there. We can't forget to mention the SBR June bet points contest. Putting all these plays in.
That's right.
I
gave my first pick of the contest today. Only one pick. And again, the way the contest goes is you can give any between 60 and 90 picks all month long. So you don't have to give a certain amount of picks every day or anything like that. You can take 1 or 2 days off or a week off. You just, by the end of June, you have to have given at least 60 picks to qualify, and you can't give more than 90 picks. But you could give, all 60 picks the last, 3 or 4 days of the contest and still qualify. So I'm probably going to wind up giving, 1 or 2 or 3 picks a day, roughly, spacing it out.
I might get up in the 4 or 5. Really feeling
sure. If you're really feeling it, absolutely. And I might pass on a day if there's nothing I'm really seeing I'm like. And I did want to give one pick today, so I did. I took it's the old Wade Miley fade, so I did take Boston -1.5 plus 130. Really, all right. So that means that I won't make any ground up on you if it cashes.
What did you guys take for the contest today? I think I went with the Dodgers.
For the contest, as we're talking about. That's what we're talking about right now. That's what we're talking about.
I'm on Boston.
Yeah, I'm on Boston run line.
So, Erod's fly ball ratio, though, there in Camden Yards does scare me.
Yes, and as I said we talked about that just today, and I said that, and in Baltimore I was like, I would not be surprised if Miley comes in and has a subpar start, but Erod has 3 home runs given up after 5 innings, and you're like, well, damn.
Yeah.
Kyle Honeyset, though, saying Rodriguez is very good. Yes, so Matthias Shermanator talking about, I mentioned face sitting once in a video once, and Matthias Shermanator has already made 2 comments on it. I think.
What does he have to say about it? It's a hot topic.
At first said he says he liked it. Now he's saying face-sitting robots is what he wants out of the future. Yeah.
Wow. Really
Robinson Jepes says.
Not if it's like real human-like, and they could control.
Robinson Jepes says Wade Miley is pretty good at home, though. I understand that, but I think that is mostly due to variance, and in general, I think that Wade Miley pretty much sucks in general. So
you
yeah.
have to be a full robot at that point. You can't see anything, right? So.
Well, if you want to get out and glance a little more, I'd like it to be at least full human-like.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it'd be weird if it was just like a torso.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Here we go. Some trash talking here from Chris Darlop. I don't know who he is fighting with. I hope he's not fighting with us, but he goes, haha, that's why you use trends and throw darts and I use data models, but you do you, bro. Oh shit. You must have been. Okay, he was fighting with Tomarino Tomor. Okay, I hate that.
Get him.
I hate that when someone accuses me of being a dart thrower because it's just so piercing and just it's like, yeah, all right, you do you, I'll do me.
I'm a dart thrower. I don't
know. Yeah.
Don't listen to my picks.
Jesus Christ. Tomarino Tomor and Chris Darlapo had a fight here in the comments in the live chat while we were just discussing our thing. Yeah. Right. Wow. Okay. Oh shit. QQQ Wilson, another great comment. Everyone on Golden State just like Hillary. Ouch.
That was funny.
Ouch. That was a funny comment.
Yeah.
QQQ Wilson.
After the video, can you put that in the actual comments that stay so I can make that my comment of the day?
Everyone on Golden State just like Hillary. Ouch. Yes. Although I did, if you saw I made 2 videos on politics. The first one, I was just basically analyzing the what do you call them, polls, right? And I basically said that I did, in that one I predicted Hillary to win Nevada, which did turn out to be accurate, and also beat the closer by a mile. I also said that basically I thought that Hillary was a lock to win. The next day, I started to do more research into it, and I realized I started to see some next polls coming in, and I was like, oh shit. And I usually respect the schedule here, but I came in that morning and I said, listen, you have to let me make a second political props video right now because I was off on the one that I did the first day, and I came in. I didn't predict Trump to win, but I did say the value was with Trump on the spread, basically, which margin of loss, which you can actually bet at lots of places. Betfair has it and stuff like that. So yes, he's absolutely right that everyone was wrong about Hillary. This one though, it's the opposite. As we get closer to tip off, I'm liking Golden State more and more, and I've considered all the reasons to like the Cavs.
Drew's like reverse thought process totally fucked my brain up.
Yes, no, I like Golden State just to win the series, though. Just to win the series, not in any. I would never take them in an exact result here, because of all the uncertainties here. But that was a good comment. Everyone on Golden State just like Hillary. Ouch, ouch. Yeah. Yes, that is true.
So someone was saying Colorado's begging for money, and I agree. This line is a little off.
Oh, tonight you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Except the Freeland vulnerable. I'm way off that one. Not even betting it. Not even betting it. All right. Okay. All right. I guess that's about it. Arthur Funchess says, "Love you guys. Won a 5-game parlay last night. Great advice. Nice. Thank you, Arthur Funchess. Thanks for the positive comment there. All right. I guess that's about it. Should we wrap it up?
Yeah.
All right.
Any other comments?
No, a lot of comments, a lot of positive comments, a lot of guys talking to each other, and a big fight, very funny, between Tomarino Tomor and who was it? Who was the guy Tomarino Tomor was fighting with? Chris Darlapo. And Chris Darlapo pretty much, Tomarino Tomor does great research, but Chris Darlapo pretty much knocked him out when he goes, haha, that's why you use trends and throw darts, and I use data models, but you do you, bro. Oh, man, that is so, yeah. Someday I want to say that to Drew. Yeah, Drew, that's why you throw darts and I model. Okay, but do you, bro? That is such a harsh comment there. All right, okay, that's about it. And I guess Loose Cunt says, "Do you guys have any interest in postseason college baseball?" No, but I think it's probably
probably beatable.
Yes,
if you're into it.
Very beatable. As we know, the smaller the market, the more beatable it tends to be. So there you go. All right, okay, that's it, and we will be back next Thursday at 12:30 Eastern Time. Open freewheeling Q&A. Drew Martin and myself.